Hey guys, Brian here from Computer Cable Store. I'm back today with a quick video to talk about USB. USB, or Universal Serial Bus, was released in 1996 and is now found on nearly every electronic device out there. In 1996, the USB organization released USB 1.0. USB 1.0 had a connection speed of 12 megabits per second. When introduced, they only had two connection types, USB-A and USB-B. Then in 2000, USB 2.0 was released. This had an increased transfer rate up to 480 megabits per second, which is incredibly fast compared to the old USB 1.0 connection speed. Along with its introduction, they also released two different connection types, USB-B Micro and USB-B Mini. Then 8 years later, in 2008, USB 3.0 was released, but now is commonly referred to as 3.1 Generation 1. In this revision, they increased the speed up to 5 gigabits per second. This is nearly 10 times as fast as USB 2.0. Along with its introduction in 2008, the USB 3.0 spec also introduced a few new connections. The USB-A connection was still the traditional form factor, but they added a few extra pins that allowed it to transfer at a higher rate. These connections are still backwards compatible with the older versions of USB. The USB-B, on the other hand, is a completely new form factor, so it is not compatible with older devices. This holds true with the USB Micro B as well. USB 3.0 Generation 2 was released in 2013. This increased the transfer rate up to 10 gigabit per second. Then in 2017, USB 3.2 was released. They introduced a new connection type, USBC, which is completely reversible, and they also increased the transfer rate up to 20 gigabits per second. So that was a quick overview of the USB specifications. Now let's take a look at the connectors and see how they differ from generation to generation.
Alright, so first up we have the USB-A connectors. USB 3.0 is identified easily by the blue color inside the connector. Normally built with 4 pins, the USB 3.0 side has an additional 5 pins deep inside the connector, which allow for greater transfer speeds. These two connections are backwards compatible. You can use a 3.0 cable on a 2.0 port and use a 2.0 cable on a 3.0 port. Those speeds will be limited to the maximum speed of the slowest connection. Next up are the USB-B connectors. This is where physical changes to the connectors happen and where compatibility issues start to crop up. Again, USB 3.0 is the blue connector, which is very similar to the USB 2.0 version, except that it has an additional section added to the top with 5 extra pins. While you can use a USB 2.0 cable on a 3.0 device, you cannot use a 3.0 cable on a 2.0 device. However, you will be limited to USB 2.0 speeds. Here is the USB 2.0 Mini B connector. This is a 5-pin connector with a small form factor. It was primarily used for connecting small devices like digital cameras, GPS units, etc. Next up are the Micro B connectors. These come in 2.0 and 3.0 varieties. The USB 2.0 end is a small form factor 5-pin connector, while the 3.0 end takes that 2.0 connector and adds an additional 5 pins to create a wide but short connector. While you cannot use the 3.0 style connector on older USB 2.0 devices, you can use the 2.0 connector on a device that has a 3.0 connection. However, you will be limited to USB 2.0 speeds. Last up is the brand new USBC connection. This is a 24-pin connector and is completely reversible, which has made life easy for everybody involved. The connector is slightly larger than the Micro B connection, but with all the added features to the spec, it's a welcome change. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos.